Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Heartslayers After Dark. You're here today with Derrick and
Meg Turner.
A lot of people appreciated our new lighting scheme from last week, so we're going to keep it going. Heartslayers 2077.
Weed Slayers.
Somebody commented Weed Slayers. I don't know what that is, but that's a different podcast that we will be launching later this year. Today, we're going to be sticking to the regular Heartslayers format, taking calls, maybe answering some emails, solving all of your relationship problems, whether it's with a significant other, mother, sister, brother, father, co-worker, ex-girlfriend, current boyfriend, grandparent, deceased or living, or anything in between. We're going to be solving all of the issues that you have. So feel free to call into the Heartslayers and talk to us about it. Without further ado, let's get it started. All right, everybody, we're here with an anonymous caller. This anonymous caller has spoken to us in the past. Anonymous caller, you're here with Meg and Derrick, the Heartslayers. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. So my situation was before I was mostly getting along with people at cons, finding like people that would be interested in. They might be interested in me to different levels of interest, I would say, and I couldn't find anyone at the local cons that was as interested in me, and I was as interested with them at that level. But what I'm finding now is I went to a local con. I was going to be a social butterfly and all that stuff, but I found out that I kind of lost all my social abilities. All my charm just left my body last con I went to. And this goes beyond just like me being social with like people I might be potentially interested with. I was working that con, and I even couldn't like interact with customers or people I was demoing a game with. I wasn't able to be that social with them either, and that's a little bit of, I'm finding that like there's just times where I just lose all ability to like be social, like, or have all my charisma.
Oh no. So what's your question for us today?
I'm wondering how to regain that charisma when I really need it, like before a date. In this case, like before a big event like this, it was very important that I could like showcase our game that we were. Sorry about the dog barking. Being able to be social like on the spot. I don't know what happened. I was trying to get like 8 hours of sleep. I was drinking coffee. I was doing everything. The only thing I think that was missing from my life was I wasn't playing Tetris 99 every night. And I think somehow that keeps me witty for some reason.
Interesting.
So what was it like at the convention? You were working at a booth and people would come up. You just wouldn't want to talk to them? Or describe...
Well, I was demoing a game. I was usually between like two of our guests. I would put them together to showcase our game. It's a card game, so there's a lot of rules, and basically you have to guide them through. It's not like a video game where it's just like let them go and have at it. But I would just get caught up. I would start using the wrong terminology, things like that. And I felt like I kind of disappointed I was basically working for a friend.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was doing him justice. I think I only got one person to go to the booth that entire week that they said they would. Basically, I think I only sold one game that entire week.
Uh-oh. So were you like low energy, or was it that you didn't really want to be there and were just checked out?
I think I really wanted to, like, I had all the motivation to be social and to be like, to use the right words, things like that. But I think I kept on getting tongue tied,
Yeah.
like more than now, basically. Just I could not think of the right words. And when I couldn't think of the right words, I would just get caught up and I just like use like probably a word like from left field, just could not think properly.
Okay. And did that start tripping you up, and
Yes.
was it lowering your self-esteem maybe?
I guess it was a snowball effect. Also, this might out me who I am, but I'm very good at nerd trivia, and like usually at this con, I do nerd trivia, and I was just constantly worried that I wasn't as like sharp in that aspect too. So basically, everything that required mental energy, I just felt I wasn't at the top of my game, and for that trivia night, I actually also was the first place champion, so it didn't affect me that much, but I didn't win the grand prize. So I guess that's somewhat of a measure of like my mental ability.
Okay.
So was this like the first time that you'd gotten a little flustered like that when trying to interact with people?
No, I think I've consistently like had bad times before, but like never when I think I can get into social mode whenever I'm at a convention and things like that. I think there's the concept like, hey, extroverts get energy at like open like parties, events, things like that, and I find that to be very true. I don't get flustered at all or I'm not shy at all when I go to these events or anything like that, and I just get better and better at talking. In fact, when I go before any like job interview, I tend to like talk with a friend just to make sure I can nail my interview and things like that.
Nice. Yeah, you get warmed up. So would you consider yourself an extrovert then? You say extroverts draw energy at a party. That's you. You're an extrovert.
Yes.
But it wasn't working at this convention then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so to get back to your original question is how do you turn the charm on when you need it? I feel like just listening to your story, a part of it was, like you said, a snowball effect. It's really, I think, just about having fun in the moment with whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I do a lot of public speaking. I do panels. Sometimes I've taught like classes before, and even like standing in front of a small room of people or a large room of people every once in a while, you get flustered and you feel like, what am I doing here? I feel like I'm an idiot. Like everybody up here thinks I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And that's really the beginning of the snowball effect to not being able to communicate efficiently or be charming. And I find that being able to not care so much, like laugh at yourself and just have fun in the moment is basically 90% of the battle when it comes to being charming. People just want to see that you're confident, and then they feed off your confidence.
Exactly, yeah.
And if they perceive that you're feeling awkward or that you're feeling like you're not doing a good job, it affects their mood,
Yeah. Like, do you think this nervousness, like, maybe could have come from you were showing off a game and you wanted to do your friend proud? And that kind of thing?
In fact, I'm working with a lot of peers, and they got this thing down. So I'm starting to realize, maybe I felt insignificant compared to them.
Yeah, I mean, being in unfamiliar territory definitely will heighten your nerves or anxiety in that case. So
I think too, humans are kind of a little bit of a psychic creature, and there's unspoken vibes and emotional triggers that people really pick up on. And when you are having to converse with somebody who on a nonverbal level is feeling unconfident or unsure or maybe awkward, maybe you don't know exactly what's wrong with the person, but you do feel like something is wrong with the person, and you start to feel like maybe this person doesn't want to be talking to me right now. Maybe I'm wasting their time, or they wish that this interaction was over, and it makes that person not want to engage in the social interaction, which all around hurts the experience. So I think that being charming and being social, a lot of it is putting people at ease in the conversation and being easy to talk to. And that comes with just feeling comfortable in your own skin and feeling like you're having a good time no matter what.
Yeah.
I know that on the podcast sometimes, on the regular Mega 64 podcast, I could be quiet and grumpy, but in real life, I've been told I'm actually extremely easy to talk to, especially when people have like problems they want to talk about, which is partially why I started Heartslayers.
Right.
Because I always I feel like I'm comfortable listening to other people talk, especially about things that are upsetting them.
Yeah, I'm the same exact way.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like
you're easy to talk to because
because I also prefer to listen to people before interjecting, I guess. So as long as they're like feeding me their energies, I could like put that energy back to them.
Yeah, and I find that people enjoy having these conversations with me and with you because there's just an air of comfortability.
Yeah.
What's the word? Comfortableness.
Comfortability.
There's an air of comfort to the whole experience, and I think that you can apply that to other social interactions too.
Absolutely.
If you're the one delivering the information or doing the bulk of the talking, a lot of it just has to come down to you being comfortable with yourself. And if you flub some words, it's not a big deal.
They're not really going to know the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That was actually one thing that I had to remember because I mentioned before I've taught some classes, and when I first started, I was terrified.
Yeah.
And I was very clammy, and I didn't really know what to say to these people. And I had like a mentor who pulled me aside, and they told me, "Hey, just remember, you know 100% more of the information than anybody here. Like you are the expert in the room.
Yeah.
So don't second guess yourself. These people are not going to question anything you say. So you shouldn't question it either. And that confidence goes a long way, whether it's fake confidence or real confidence. Oftentimes fake confidence turns into real confidence with a little bit of practice.
Always have to fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but I do think it just comes down to having like good energy, being relaxed, having fun with what you're doing, living in the moment. I've been at conventions and it gets tedious when you're there for 8, 9 or 10 hours. And you're thinking about like, what am I going to be doing later? What am I going to be doing tomorrow? People are walking by trying to interact with you at the booth, and mentally you're just
not there.
checked out. But it's a much better experience when you are in the moment and you're eager to talk to people. There's go ahead. No, you go ahead. I've been doing a lot of talking.
I definitely think I was psyching myself out. Like it's starting to like it's becoming totally obvious now. Interesting enough, though, one of those nights I went to a party, and I think I regained some of my charisma back, just like right then and there.
That's good.
I think I drank like a Mike's Hard at that party, and I don't know, something just triggered in me.
Yeah, something just woke up. Sometimes, like a feeling of loneliness can set in, even when you're surrounded by thousands of people. And I've definitely been there at a convention too. Like, I'm surrounded by strangers. I feel like, what am I doing? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'd rather be with my own intimate group of people who really understand me.
I get like that.
You can't always be with that intimate group of people. So I always tell myself, like, you know what? Shake it off. Like, wake up. All right. This moment is temporary. You're here for half a day. Like, you'll find those people later on. But for right now, you don't have them. So don't dwell on what you don't have, dwell on what you do have, which is thousands of people who are eager to talk to you, even though they don't know you very well.
Exactly.
And you kind of just gauge and roll back your expectations. You're probably not going to have deep, meaningful, life-changing conversations, but you can like make people laugh and have some nice, breezy, quick, fun conversations.
Exactly. Like you just can't get in your head about it, because that's my biggest problem. I get in my head about everything, and then I end up stressing, and then that's what ends up giving me a sort of anxiety. So if you just take it day by day, step by step.
Yeah. I think it's important to acknowledge your situation, be real about your expectations for the situation.
Because if you're holding yourself to like a super high standard for no reason, then you're absolutely going to kind of start flubbing.
And then what'll happen, you'll surprise yourself. You'll be so charismatic, thinking like, I'm not going to have any deep, meaningful conversations here. I'm just explaining a card game. It's kind of stupid. I'm going to laugh at myself. You're having a good time. You're laughing. You're smiling. Then somebody walks by and they're like, that guy at the card game booth is pretty cute. I'm gonna go over, flirt with him. Suddenly you're having that borderline deep, meaningful conversation at a convention out of nowhere. You weren't expecting it. It's a nice surprise. This is like a side issue, but I'm just stressing the point that when you get into that mode, when you turn on the charm, when you turn on the charisma, you start attracting all of these great things because people just pick up on that energy.
People want to be around that.
They want to be around it. They feed off of that energy.
Yeah. It's all about the energy that you're putting out.
There's a YouTube channel that I love, Anonymous Caller. I'm going to recommend it to you. It's not for everybody, but it may speak to what your situation is. It's called Charisma on Command.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I heard of that. I've seen it like years ago, but when it was like showing up in my inbox.
This dude basically analyzes celebrities and Hollywood superstars. He often goes to the people in Marvel movies, which is so funny, but he looks at their interviews when they're promoting Marvel movies and he kind of analyzes little things that they do that are so charming. Like, why does everybody like, what's the guy who plays Thorn?
Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth, yeah. They're like, why is everybody like Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
And it's not just a objective statement. He says, like, look at these interviews with different people who have been in movies with Chris Hemsworth. They all say he's the most likable guy they've ever met.
Really?
Why is that? Now let's look at his interviews and let's look at the little things he does that make him so likable. And I find it really interesting.
That's interesting, yeah. Something you could kind of emulate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do people think Robert Downey Jr. is so cool?
Yeah.
And it's a totally different skill set between Chris Hemsworth being super likable and Robert Downey Jr. being perceived as eternally cool. They do different things. So you can kind of find the personality traits that align with you and who you think you are and level up your charisma skills a little bit.
Okay. Sounds
Charisma
good.
on Command. Check it out.
Just one little caveat question related to this. Yesterday, I was with a friend. We went to see Toy Story. Before the movie, I was talking to him about everything. I was really social. And by the end of the night, I think we were hungry and I guess a little tired.
Yeah.
And I think I lost that charisma a bit. Is there just sometimes you just need to throw in the towel?
Absolutely.
Sometimes you need to throw in the towel, but more importantly, you need to learn to enjoy the silence.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with
that's
silence.
true.
It's okay to not talk to somebody and just hang out with them.
Yeah.
And you can't be 100% energy 100% of the time.
No.
You get bursts of energy, but you can still maintain a positive attitude and a happy demeanor as long as you're not bummed out and having that feeling of loneliness and anxiety and depression starting to set in.
Okay.
Which can happen. It's okay to not have things to talk about for a moment.
Yeah, sometimes being social can be exhausting.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
definitely that kind of person. I will say a lot and then I've run out of things to say and then I will just maintain my current status until new stimuli enters my realm upon which I can get re-energized and start talking once again.
Yeah.
But if I'm always
I think-
grasping for things to say and keep the conversation rolling, I'll hit a wall and then I'll start to feel real down on myself like I've run out of things to say.
That's it.
Oh my God. I've exhausted all my potential.
Yeah, the more I think about it, it's just when I think about it in the moment, it just seems I get that. But when I just let it go, I guess I'm never too down about it. So I guess I do have to say, oh, this is quiet time. This is fine.
I think people really appreciate finding somebody that they can spend time with that they don't feel obligated to talk 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I think real social connections and connectivity and best friends are the type of people who can spend time together and they can talk, but they can also just chill and just be near each other and still enjoy each other's company without having to constantly be verbalizing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your call. Thanks for the update, and we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks. I'll see you guys around.
Okay, everybody, we are here on the phone with Nick. Nick, you are talking to Meg and Derrick, the Heartslayers. What's happening?
Hey, I hope you two are doing well today. So I broke up with my girlfriend recently, or to be more accurate, she broke up with me. This was back in the beginning of May. It was my first relationship, and so this is also my first breakup. And I'd say like since then, I've been trying to just trying to come to terms with everything that happened, and through that process, I've been trying to learn how to uh, have my heart be more open, you know. And I feel like that was kind of what sort of led to our breakup, was that I was a little too afraid of my feelings for her. Like, I'd say like about 6 months ago, before we broke up, I was starting to feel like she was the one for me and that we could have a life together. But I was kind of afraid if those feelings were just kind of superficial or were going to kind of be fleeting at some point. So I never really embraced them. And yeah, and then it led to us breaking up. So since the breakup, I've just been trying to, you know, kind of love without being in fear, and trying to embrace my emotions more. And I guess if there's a question, is like, do you have experience with that? Like, do you have any advice that could help me with that journey?
Advice to help you with your journey to love without fear is the question. Well, let me ask, how long did you guys date for, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, no problem. We dated for a little over 3 years.
Wow, 3 years. And
Okay.
you broke up in May.
Man.
Yeah.
You sound like you're taking it well.
Yeah.
I would expect.
Well, it's been a little bit of, you know, here and there, up and down. I guess, well, trying to be more open and honest with myself. This week has definitely been a rough week for me. I think I'd say around Wednesday I had kind of a mental breakdown, and I think it was caused by me sort of losing hope that she was gonna, you know, reach out to me in any significant way, or that we were gonna patch things up and stuff like that.
Yeah, you guys broke up in the beginning of May,
That's right.
so it's been about 7 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you say that you had these feelings like she could be the one, but you didn't want to embrace them, what does that entail? Were you did it cause you to pull back, or did it change the way that you treated your girlfriend at the time in the relationship?
Yeah, well, it had been an issue for us for, I'd say, like, you know, like when we first started this out, we didn't really know, like, I didn't really know like what she wanted in her life, and she didn't really know what I wanted. I guess we probably should have established that in the beginning. You know, what if we wanted to have kids in our lives, if we wanted to get married at some point.
Yeah.
And for her, it was she had more conviction in that area. She definitely wanted to have kids and get married at some point. And I came at it with more, like, not too sure, like, because I never really put too much thought into it. And like I said, this was my first relationship. So, you know, I never felt I was in that, like I was never put into that situation where that could become a reality.
Yeah.
And so being with her definitely made me think about it a lot more and a lot more deeply. And I knew how important it was for her. So I didn't want to like lead her on or make her feel like, you know, if I was to say, like, be more open and say, like, yeah, you know, like, I think I can go through it. Like, I think I can, you know, see you as my wife, and I can see you as like the mother of my children and all that. I didn't want to break her heart that way. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of a shame because like I was feeling those emotions, you know, like I'd say towards the beginning of the year. And those feelings only kind of grew and grew, but like I said, I was afraid of those emotions, so I just didn't embrace them like I should have, and yeah, and then it led to us breaking up.
Huh. You guys have been dating for 2 years up to that point?
Yeah, like I'd say we started dating in what was it, March? So I guess it would have been like 2 years and some odd months, like 9 months or so at that point.
Dang, almost 3 years. That's a long relationship.
Yeah. Was there like an event that led to your breakup?
Uh, no, like there wasn't anything like, you know, I cheated on her, she cheated on me. I'd say it was more accurately like a slow fizzling out.
Okay.
And I guess to add like a bit of more context to right before the breakup, you know, I kind of thought things were like getting better and like things were going fine. We even went to this this festival, music festival together the day before,
Okay.
and and yeah, and I guess she had already made up her mind at that point, but I wasn't aware. And yeah, so I thought everything was all great. And then then the next morning I get this text saying, can we talk? Can we see each other? And then it was like, oh no.
Did it blindside you when you got that text, or did you feel like something was coming?
It's kind of hard looking back because so much has happened since then. But yeah, I guess I kind of felt like something was off. But I didn't think, when you're in that situation, you don't want to believe that like the worst possible outcome is going to happen.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, I think when it did happen, I was like, even that day, like I woke up in the morning with that text, and we were going to meet later in the evening. So the whole day I was just thinking, I don't want this, I don't want this to happen. And and then when I finally got there and saw her, she gave me basically a one-arm hug, and I was just like, oh no, and then I got that stinging feeling.
Dang, like this is I mean, I'm just struck by how you guys were together for almost 3 years, and it seemed like suddenly, for no reason, you guys split up. You say that it had kind of been fizzling out. How did it go? Like, you felt like this girl might be the one for you, and then it starts fizzling out. I mean, what did she tell you when she wanted to break up? Did she give you a reason, like why she didn't want to be together anymore?
Yeah, she gave me reasons, and looking back on it, she gave me a few extra reasons that I felt maybe just emotions were running high, and she was just kind of venting. But the main reasons were that she felt like, for as long as we were together, she just felt like my feelings on eventually wanting to have kids and wanting to get married, just like, I guess she felt like she couldn't accept that as the truth now, because since she arrived at the decision to break up with me, she couldn't believe that like I was telling her the truth anymore. And so I guess that's like kind of essentially what happened, was that I lost her trust because I dragged my feet for so long.
She wanted to get married, and she felt like you didn't want to like have a serious future with her.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
And then you said like, but I do. But she's like,
she doesn't believe.
I don't believe you. That's what
exactly.
happened.
Oh man,
that's rough.
Can I ask how old you guys are?
We're both 28.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that changes things a little bit, because most people, the average age to get married is 27. So maybe she feels like,
like the clock is ticking.
Yeah, the window's closing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
But why would I? Yeah, I mean, I know you don't have the answers, Nick, but I'm sitting here wondering, like, why wouldn't she believe you? If she wants to be with you, and her issue is that she feels like this relationship may not have a future.
I mean,
why end the relationship? Then it definitely doesn't have a future.
The only thing that I can think it might have been was if you suddenly just hit her with, oh, but no, I do. She could have been like, oh, well, A, he might be lying. B, I might have guilted him into this decision. And once somebody's made up their mind, especially with a big decision on such as breaking up, it's kind of difficult to backpedal from there, I think.
I guess.
So
had there been a conversation earlier in the year before you guys broke up where you did discuss these future things, where she said like, how do you feel about marriage, or how do you feel about kids? And you were kind of like cold and standoffish?
Yeah, I'd say definitely we had a few conversations preceding the breakup.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'd say around the time when I felt like these feelings were coming to fruition within me, I had lost a lifetime pet of mine that was very close to me, and so I was going through this like period of mourning, and she was there for me to like support me through all of that. And I think that's when I started realizing like how important she was to me, and like how much I want her in my life for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because I was in that mourning, I just didn't trust my feelings enough to like be more open, and then like I said, like it's the fear got to me after that. But as far as the conversations go, we would talk about it every now and again, and we were actually planning to move in together. We were looking at places in April,
Yeah.
and this was like the second time we had done that kind of legwork to go look for an apartment together. And so yeah, like when the breakup happened, I was kind of blindsided because I'm like, we were just talking about moving in, like maybe in May or June, and
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you think that you maybe made her feel like you didn't like she was unappreciated? Did you make her feel like she was unwanted?
I think so, yeah. And like I've been trying not to beat myself up for that. I can't like live in the past and just let that sit in my mind.
Yeah.
I have been doing that since the breakup, but like I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and just move past beyond all that guilt and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do is just make sure that you don't do that in the future with any potential girlfriends.
Well, you said that, Wednesday was tough because you're starting to realize she's not reaching out to you. Were you expecting her to call you up and say, like, let's give it another chance, let's get back together?
Well, I guess to add more to that is that I have been trying to reach out to her. Like, I'd say we had 3 weeks or so. I went to Oregon about 3 weeks after we broke up.
Yeah.
And then after I came back from the trip just reminded me of how much I missed her and, just wanted to check up on her. So I called her. She didn't call me back, but I left a voicemail. And then she started texting me and was just saying, like, I don't know if I should call you. And then I would, and like, I just been making every cliched mistake, in this whole process, like just pouring my heart out, just trying to tell her how much I love her and all this stuff.
And what does she say in return?
Basically, she said that she feels like any change that I make is only going to be to want to get her back and not be genuine.
Huh.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. That's
Cold.
That's cold. Something about this whole situation is
Fishy.
it's not adding up to me.
No.
I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but
Yeah, I can't really wrap my head around why she just kind of dumped all that on you out of nowhere and is now kind of being even colder.
I just
guess.
feel
I
like
don't know.
if your problem with your significant other is you don't know if they are into you enough,
Yeah.
and you don't know if you feel appreciated in the relationship, ending the relationship is more of that same problem, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
afraid this relationship isn't working out. Like, I'm afraid it's not going to work out, so I'm going to make it not work out.
Yeah, I'm just going to end it before it ends itself, I guess.
That's the thing that's striking me as so bizarre. And, you're giving her this outpouring of like, I really do care about you. I really do love you. I want to be together. She's like, I don't know if I believe you.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
What?
What do you make of all that? Does it seem like you know better than us your situation? Like, does this seem like the conclusion of something that's been coming for a long time, or are you just as confused about it as we are?
It's a mixture of confusion and understanding where she's coming from. Well, she told me this about, I think it was like around February or so. But she said like around January, she got really sick, and it was like a cold that like lasted for like 3 weeks or so. But she didn't tell me at the time, but she told me after the fact that she had thought about breaking up with me while she was in that state. And I kind of was thinking like, whoa, like I didn't think you were even thinking of that. But I thought it was just because she was feeling depressed and all that. So, when this finally came around to it, I kind of had been anticipating it, and, it just, it's a shame, like like I said, I've been doing some other things too. I've been trying to be more processing this in like creative avenues. I actually made a video about this that I put up on YouTube, and it was kind of like a creative outlet for me and all this thing. But I was kind of hoping she would see it. I think she probably has, but she hasn't told me if she has or not.
Trying to lay the emotional bait for her, huh?
There you go.
Yeah, but like I said, it like that was my intention when I first made it. But I think when I finished it, it was more of like, because that's what I think that was also kind of goes into why she thinks that we're not compatible in the long run. That she's a teacher, and she already has her career basically started, and I really want to get into like a creative field. I want to get into like editing and stuff like that. And editing isn't something I have done in a while. I went to school for it, but then kind of dropped it for, I don't know, just for whatever reason, life kind of gets to you. And yeah, I picked it back up again, just to kind of show her like, that, you still inspire me, you still, and all this stuff. But yeah, I guess I'm just kind of proud of the video that I made, and regardless if she sees it or ever says anything about it, I'm just kind of happy I did it. But I kind of think that that's where things are right now. I think if she can't trust me anymore, there's nothing really I can do to build that trust up, especially with this distance between us.
Yeah, well, okay. We were sitting here listening to your story, and my take on this is sometimes relationships just don't work out.
Yeah. For
whatever reason, and for however long they've gone. I was surprised that you guys dated for so long only to have your relationship fizzle out. But that happens sometimes.
It does.
My parents were married for 27 years before they got a divorce. You would think some people who were married for 3 decades would just stick it out.
Yeah.
But they decided that it just wasn't working out anymore. I've been in relationships too that have just fizzled out, and I really cared about the person, and I felt like the relationship wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like we didn't hate each other. We weren't at each other's throats. We just,
existed together.
Weren't as perfectly compatible as could be. We weren't perfect.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, what relationship is perfect? When the relationship ended, I was kind of really bummed out and disappointed about it. I felt like, well, there was no real reason to break up other than it wasn't a spectacular relationship per se.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That happens. To get back to your original question, how do you love openly and love freely moving forward? I always try to learn from all of my relationships that end. The really bad ones, I learned a lot from. And even that relationship that was pretty good and still ended, I learned from it. One thing that I think is really important that took me a long time to learn was you don't need to hate somebody just because they're your ex.
No.
You don't need to resent them. It's okay to not date somebody anymore.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that you're going to be okay no matter what. And I think that actually is something that made my subsequent relationships a lot better.
Yeah.
When I was younger and I had gone through bad breakups, I would enter new relationships afraid of having another bad breakup.
Yeah.
I would think, oh man, that sucked so bad. My heart got broken so bad. I never want to experience that again. And I'm going to try to protect myself from experiencing that bad breakup again. I'm not going to fall so hard for this person. I'm not going to be so emotionally attached to this person. And that ended up sabotaging those relationships.
Yeah, because you build up walls.
Yeah, you build up walls. Exactly. And so then I would learn to all right, I am going to get emotionally attached, and all right, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to go with this person, and if they decide they don't want to be with me, I'm going to be fucked up. And that wasn't healthy either. And it took a couple for me to realize the way to do it, in my opinion, is to give the person the benefit of the doubt, but know that you're strong enough that if things go wrong, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I've been in relationships where the person kind of felt like, I feel like maybe I'm getting scared, like this relationship is maybe moving too fast. And I'd be like, all right, well, let's have a conversation, because I do really care a lot about you. I feel like this is a great relationship, but you know what? If it's not working out in your opinion, that's fine. We can break up. I will be fine. I will move on. It'll be on to the next one. Like, I'm a cool guy. I'll get another girlfriend and I'll try it again with them. And suddenly it was like,
wait,
hold on a second. I don't want this relationship to end.
Yeah.
I think that people want to find that balance of this person's really into me, but I'm not their entire world.
Yes.
Like, I'm with.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel the same way?
Yeah. Because when my boyfriend and I first started dating, everything happened very, very quickly. And the pace of it plus being long distance absolutely freaked me the fuck out. And it got to the point where I was like, oh no, I think he's more into me than I am in him.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I was like, oh shit, like I don't want to fuck this up because I don't want to hurt his feelings. And it just turned into a conversation like, hey, I think this needs to be addressed. And it was absolutely me reading things incorrectly. And it kind of broke down some of my like walls that I had subconsciously built up because I was afraid of that like heavy commitment and whatever. So I think just being open and honest with them is all it takes.
Yeah. For Nick's situation, he's already gone through the breakup.
Absolutely.
I think, my advice is, don't be angry at your ex. It sucks. Yeah, obviously it sucks, but it's going to be okay. Things happen for a reason. Sometimes the reason isn't immediately clear. Maybe a few years from now, you'll realize something about who you were at the time during this relationship, and it'll start to make sense. Like, oh, yeah, that relationship wasn't going to work out.
Right.
She was right.
Yeah.
Or like maybe there were a few more years, but the person I was at the time is not the person I am now.
Exactly.
And maybe at that point too, if you're a whole new person a few years from now, you guys can be friends again and maybe the relationship will pick back up.
Yeah.
But just knowing that even though it's shitty, it's okay. And not being mad at the person. You don't sound like you're mad at your ex. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
You don't sound like you're in that situation. But it's
No,
important.
absolutely not.
It's important not to harbor resentment at that person or yourself. It is what it is. It sucks. Things have to suck sometimes, but you'll be okay. You got this relationship. You can definitely get another one. You can find, I believe that there are types of people out there. And if you date a girl and you're crazy about her, but the relationship doesn't work out, you can find another girl who is basically the same, but different in certain ways so that the relationship will work out. You can find the things you like about a certain person in many, many people. And you can find different traits you didn't know you liked.
Yeah.
In
Bonuses.
those new people too. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I've been getting that kind of advice from like other people in my life too. But yeah, that's very kind of you guys to say that.
Was this her first relationship as well?
No. This was her third relationship, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, first relationships, this is your first relationship, they rarely work out.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Every once in a while it does, but most of the time they don't. So
And honestly, it sounds like you're handling the breakup really good.
it sounds like you're taking it like a champ.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you.
yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate the call and, good luck moving
Thank
forward.
you. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks.
Thanks.
See ya. All right, everybody. We are here on the phone with Oliver. Oliver, you are talking to Meg and Derrick, the Heartslayers. What's up?
Wow. First of all, right quick, just want to say, love you guys. Love everything about Mega 64, and it's super cool to be here on your show.
Thanks.
Well, we love having you. Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just had a general question for you guys. I'm not sure if you have discussed this on the show or not before, so please forgive me if this is a redundant question. But I was just curious what both of you guys thought about marriage. Is it something that you guys are into? Is it something that you guys are hoping to get to at some point? Or maybe you're already married. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But I was just kind of curious because I know a lot of people right now are getting engaged and stuff, and I just want to know where you guys stand on marriage.
Nice. Well, to clear the air, Meg and I are not married.
We're also not dating each other.
Yeah.
Since that's
so
still a
funny you
question.
say. I was actually going to ask that at the end of my calls and ask if you guys at any point have dated, because for whatever reason I thought you guys were together at some point. But
No.
go ahead.
A lot of people
Sorry.
think that. We always talk about, I have a girlfriend, you have a boyfriend, and people are like,
know.
are they dating? Like,
No.
like I would refer to my girlfriend in the as if she's not here.
Yeah.
When you're sitting right there. No, we're not dating.
We're not
funny.
dating, have never dated.
I'm not married to anyone IRL.
Neither am I.
But my opinion on marriage, I think marriage is great.
Yeah.
As long as you have been with the person,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say for a long time.
Yeah.
But have worked your way up to marriage.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that marriage is one step in a series of steps And I think that if you have come to the proper stage in your relationship, marriage is wonderful.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, okay, now I'm ready. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
My
If you have marriage too soon,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah.
You know.
I was going to say, my parents got married after like 4 months of knowing each other.
That's pretty fast.
Very fast, but
They're still together.
They're still together. So
Yeah.
some people it works out. Some people it really does not.
I don't put like a time, an amount of time that you need to lead up to marriage.
No.
4 months is pretty fast. Some people get married after many years. Some people after a decade of being together don't get married,
Yeah.
and it's whatever works for the relationship. But I will say that some people rush into marriage for various reasons. Maybe one person really wants to get married and the other person isn't
Yeah.
ready, but they feel like, well, I'm going to go with the flow because I don't want to disappoint my significant other.
I love them.
Yeah,
so-
and that is when it's bad.
It
it's
gets
so
so
bad. And anybody who gets married at the age of 18 or below, I just feel like you aren't done growing.
I even feel like 22 and below sometimes. Yeah. I think there needs to be like a certain level of maturity there.
Sure, well, some people are mature at 22.
I mean, I'm not saying all 22-year-olds, but I don't know. I feel like the people that get married super young, the success rate is pretty low.
Yeah. I just feel there's stages, like in a nice gourmet meal, you have the appetizer first,
Yeah.
then the main course, and then dessert.
Yeah.
And marriage is dessert. It's nice
That's a good way to put it.
when it comes at the end of the meal.
Yeah.
But if you eat a bunch of ice cream and then they bring out this huge steak and then your appetizers are last, you're like, this meal's fucked up. How did I get in this meal? I don't even know if I like this meal anymore.
Yikes.
I already had the dessert. Now I'm supposed to eat this vegetable borscht.
Ew.
Yeah, fuck that. I want more cheesecake. You know what? I'm going to go start looking for a new meal where they haven't served the cheesecake yet.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah. Good analogy.
yeah, you got to do it in proper
Yeah.
stages. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, you guys raised some good points. My parents are just like Meg's. They got engaged, I think, like 6 months after they started dating, and they've been together 30 plus years. So
There you go.
I definitely agree that it's definitely a good step to go to if you're in a good relationship. For me, I feel like I go back and forth. It's like some days I'm like, yeah, I gotta get out there, find someone, get married, do the whole thing. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, if I'm not like actually feeling it, if it's not genuine, I don't want to do it just to do it. You know what I mean? Just kind of go with the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I
it
think
definitely has to be someone that I know. And that's the other thing too. I need to take the time to get to know someone before I spend, the rest of my life with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be in something, especially as official as marriage, and then it's like, oh no, I got to get out of this. But it's like, the wedding and all that stuff. So I don't want to hurt anybody.
I think there's certain people out there that always need something to be looking forward to in their life.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm going to be graduating high school soon, and then I'm going off to college, and then, I met a boy. We're going to move in soon. Okay, we moved in. I'm going to be graduating college. All right, well, I got nothing left to look forward to. Let's get married. All right, now we're planning this wedding, and now I could look forward to this wedding.
Now let's have a kid.
I could talk about this wedding. Yeah, now let's have a kid. And they hit all these things because they always need something next on the agenda, and then one day they wake up and it's like,
How did
I have
get
nothing
here?
left on my list. I'm 23.
Oh, fuck.
I've got 33 years, 43 years until I can retire from my job. And now my list is empty. And then they've like crashed.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
the main thing, like my parents, when they got married, I think my mom was like 29.
Yeah.
And my dad is a couple years younger than she is, but they were still older.
Yeah.
And so that's why
know what you
I
want out
think,
of life.
yeah, exactly. The pace didn't really matter because they both knew what they wanted.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with my life. I want to get married eventually someday, but
No rush.
I'll wait until the time is right.
Do you want to have kids, Derrick and Meg? Not together, but with your respective girlfriend and boyfriends.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
sorry.
I don't know.
I've been on the fence. Like, I was a hard no for a very long time. But more recently, I've been a little more open to the idea. But I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. Kids.
That's interesting. I feel like, is there any way you get the rest of the Mega 64 gang and we can go one by one and see what's going on in their personal lives? I'm sorry if it's too much to ask.
Yeah. No,
That's-
you know,
it's so
some of
fascinating.
them are open books and other ones are closed books.
No, I got you.
Yeah. But we do appreciate the call and yeah, interesting topic of conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I hope you guys haven't like drove that into the ground or anything before I,
No, I don't think we've ever really discussed it too much.
No, we've discussed
good.
arranged marriages.
Yeah.
Oh,
But not
really?
just marriage.
Marriage in general.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Thanks for the call, Oliver.
Hey, Derrick, Meg, thanks a lot. Take care, guys.
Yeah, you too.
All right, everybody. We are here talking to Raiga Kuga. Raiga Kuga. You were talking to Meg and Derrick, the Heartslayers. Hey, what's up?
Oh, hey, yeah, I called in just a little bit before, maybe like somewhere on this season. I sent an email when Meg wasn't there, and you answered my question pretty well, and I kind of got over him. And,
What was your previous question about? Could you
it
remind
was
us?
it was mostly about my friend not responding to my apology, and you kind of looked into that email thinking that maybe I haven't found the happiness within myself yet. So what I've been doing with myself is just exercising more and doing more introspective thinking. And
Okay.
Yeah.
You feeling better?
For the most part, yeah, I don't really feel like I need to connect with other people like that, so I can just find new friends. And I have found a good, solid friends group that I don't really hang out with, but they're always positive and they always cheer me up. So
Okay, good.
that's
That's
really
great.
good.
Nice. All right. So, what's your question for today?
The question for today is a little bit different. It's not a topic about that, but my brother my older brother is very irritable, like all the time, and I can tell that he's a good person deep down all my life. But just when he's acted like irritable like this all the time since like he was a teenager to my mother and father, and he never seemed to grow out of it. And my father passed away last year, so I hope that he does, so we can connect with him more. He seems to only act like that around immediate family, and I'm just hoping to figure out how can we break him out of this cold, hard exterior that he's put up around himself.
He's your older brother. How much older is he?
He was born 1988.
How much older does that make him than you?
Oh, so I was born in 91, so I don't really know. I guess like 30 or something.
Okay, so he's 31.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't do math.
That's all right. It's my hidden secret skill. Do you find that? Do you ever see him outside of family situations? Like, do you guys hang out one on one?
Yeah, I went to go see. Well, we had this viewing party of Game of Thrones this year for like the second episode. It was cool and all.
Was it just you two, or you two and some
Yeah.
friends?
It was just me and him. He ordered some pizza, but it turned out to be the wrong pizza because he ordered it through Uber Eats, and he threw a huge fit about it. He's like, "This isn't even my pizza. This isn't even the right wings. Like, I didn't order any of this."
Wow.
And then I was like, "Whoa, dude."
That would irritate
Calm down.
anybody.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the man's
Well-
food.
Well, it's just like, and then I just wanted to like kind of, we were like just chilling and smoking some weed a little bit, and I was just maybe doing like my own offset commentary on some stuff, and he was like, "Dude, will you just shut up? I'm trying to watch." I'm like, "Okay, shit."
Is it?
I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I'm just.
Is it worse when he's around the rest of the family, or was that pretty typical?
Yeah. I feel like it's only when it's around immediate family, like brother, my other sisters, and my mother now.
Yeah.
And when it's around like maybe my cousins and maybe some family friends and his own friends, he'll just be his own nice, deep down, perfect self. Like, okay, cool. But where's that when we're around, and why can't you be friendly to us?
Oh, okay. You know, I bet. What am I trying to say here? I definitely have a different personality when I'm around my parents.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it is a lot grumpier.
Yeah.
Being around, and I think a lot of people feel this way, like being around their immediate family. Sometimes I feel like, first of all, my parents are a lot older than most parents, but I feel like there's a dynamic with the family that's been locked in for many years, and they maybe expect me to be the same person, or they kind of treat me like they treated me for all these other years. There's like a learned behavior and it's hard to break that cycle. I'm definitely different when I'm just among my friends and people I choose to be around. And when I'm around my family, I feel like it's an obligation.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of a chore sometimes.
Yeah. And I also feel like they are so established in their patterns that it kind of drives me crazy sometimes. I feel like for the past 20 years, we've been doing the same thing, having the same conversations, eating at the same dinner table, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to tell them, like, this sucks. Like, do something new. Like, let's shake it up. I don't like this dynamic.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like an impossible situation. I wonder if that's what's going on with your brother, Raikakuga.
Yeah. I do understand and probably do agree. He was probably really irritable when he was a teenager, and he's probably just like set into that learned set. But I feel like having that anger within your just family that's just trying to help, and my father just passed away, is just kind of unhealthy for him, and it just causes more problems. Like when we went grocery shopping the other day, he kind of just was really cold, and we just went in and out, and I kind of accidentally went to the wrong car, and he got really kind of mad, and just for the littlest things. And it's like, man, I can't even mess up just a little bit, or you can't even laugh about it.
Have you ever asked him just straight up, like, hey, why are you so angry right now?
See, that, like, it's like that type of relationship. It's like walking on eggshells. Like, I don't even know if I can without him exploding on me.
Right.
It's because, like, even this year for his birthday that's coming up, I was thinking about writing him a letter, like, just with, like, addressing all these things. Like, hey, can you, like, not act like this? Can you maybe change? Our father died last year.
That's going to be the worst birthday gift of all time.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to throw him a pair of shoes. But I don't know.
You know what? Like, nobody ever thinks that they're doing something wrong.
Right.
Even if you tell them, they won't hear it. They have to, like, realize it on their own. Everybody, I think, operates in their own circumstance, striving to do the best they can.
Yeah.
Even if they know what they're doing is not great. Like, I treat people like shit. I think the mentality is, if you were me and you were in my situation and people treated you the way that they treat me, you would probably act the same way. Whether that's true or not, I think that is kind of the way people operate mentally. All people. I think everybody's just trying to do the best they can in their current situation.
Yeah.
Even if they know it's shitty, they feel like, well, this is my best option. I don't think anybody purposely chooses to take the worst possible option.
Yeah.
Some people are self-destructive.
Yeah.
They're their own worst enemy. They self-sabotage relationships, but they either don't realize it or they feel like they have no other choice.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think the best thing you could do, Raikakuga, is give your brother another choice. Give him an opportunity to not self-sabotage. Like, if there's a problem with monotony and he feels like he's locked in this relationship and he has to act a certain way in this relationship because that's the way it's always been, try surprising him. Try doing something completely unexpected. Try to figure out what brings your brother joy, what makes him happy, and then surprise him. Like, I don't know, this might be a stupid suggestion, but buy him a gift.
Yeah.
And just deliver it to him and just say, like, hey, man, I thought you'd like this. I thought this would make you happy.
Yeah, this reminded me of you.
And maybe that'll surprise him, and maybe he'll go back to being grumpy once again. But I bet if you do that a couple of times, it'll start to make a new pattern. He'll start to think of at least you. He'll start to see you in a new light. And if he doesn't, maybe then would be a good time to bring up these issues. Be like, yo, dude, you may have noticed that I've been trying to cheer you up a little bit. And I feel like it's because I just feel like you're kind of unsatisfied or grumpy with life. And, I just, we have this relationship. It's always been a certain way, but I don't like it. And I want to, I want it to be better. And, you can use that as an opportunity to be honest. You kind of, this sounds dumb, but you give people a couple of gifts. You buy the right to be honest with them and be real with them. Be like, look, I've been going out of my way to be extra nice to you.
And you still hurt my feelings.
And you still feel like you don't appreciate it. So now I'm going to talk some realness to you.
Yeah.
And maybe then they'll be willing to listen because they'll be like, oh shit, my brother has been being really nice to me lately. It was a little bit weird. It was making me feel like something was up. I want to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
But this is something that I was thinking about the other day. Being happy is like a skill, and not everybody has that skill.
That's true.
It's tough. I think sometimes people just feel really unsatisfied with life. I think that's a real common feeling.
Yeah.
You feel like, what the fuck am I doing in life? Where am I going? I've been striving and trying for so long to get somewhere and it hasn't fucking worked. And you just start getting down on like the potential future. I find myself going down this train of thought often. But you need to pause. At least this is what I feel like. You need to pause sometimes and just realize like being happy is a state of mind. It's something you achieve on a moment-to-moment basis. You can go through life feeling like dissatisfied, but then you might come to the end of your life and realize like I've just lived a lifetime of unsatisfaction.
Yeah,
and
I just wasted so much time.
I don't want that. I think like if I can just learn to be happy moment to moment, day to day, even though my life isn't perfect, I could just try to find happiness in the minutia of things. Maybe it'd be better, to look back on my life and be like, you know what, it wasn't perfect. I didn't get everywhere I wanted to go, but I was mostly happy.
Yeah.
I made a point to be happy. I think that that's a skill and like a certain talent. Some people are really good at it. Some people are really good at being happy. Other people have to work at it and have to practice making themselves happy.
Exactly.
But ultimately, you're responsible for your own happiness. Maybe that's something your brother hasn't realized. This is something you guys could talk about after you have tried to cheer him up a little bit. And
butter him up a little bit.
yeah, it's all about breaking that cycle, though. People get stuck in cycles, and they feel like I do the same thing day in and day out. I'm fucking tired of it. And the littlest thing can break up that cycle, and maybe you can be that catalyst. Right.
I think I might try to do that because he did also get out of just like an 8-year relationship with this girl. Probably at the end of last year after my dad died, and like she kind of dumped him after that too. I was kind of weird.
I bet your brother is depressed.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm willing to wager he is going through a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
Dad passed away, girlfriend broke up with him, family annoys the shit out of him, pizza gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you only look at all the things that are going wrong and you start adding them up and it weighs down on you. And you be like, I never thought about it, but now that they've taken a moment to catalog everything that's gone wrong lately,
Life sucks.
I'm fucking sick of this life.
Yeah.
And so, little things can be on the list of things that go right. Like, well, at least my brother got me this cool Blu-ray or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Took me to race go-karts. That was fun. People need to be treated once in a while. Just felt, like they're appreciated. And, for no reason at all. People just, they like you and they want to do something nice for you because they like you. They love you. That goes a long way. That makes people feel really great.
That's true.
Yeah, I think I might try to do like a nice memorable birthday party type thing this year instead of writing really mean letters or something like that.
Yeah, don't.
That's a good plan.
Don't try to bring him down. Try to lift him up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll probably try to plan something like that with my sister because she's going through some stuff right now too. But she learned how to get out of her own depressive hole by listening to some self-help books and embracing the power of now with that book Eckhart Tolle.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Well, let us know how it all goes. I'd love to hear an update about what you do for your brother.
All right. I'll see you guys at the game days too.
All right.
See you there.
See you later. Thanks for the call.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, everybody, that brings us to the end of our show. We want to give a big thank you to everybody who called in today and spoke to the Heartslayers. If you have a question that you want to shoot our way, you can call us every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time at bit.ly/Heartslayers on the Heartslayers Discord. You can also email us at heartslayers@mega64.com. Lately, we haven't been getting to the email, but we look at them, and, we don't always get callers. Sometimes we need to answer those emails.
Calls do get priority, though.
Yeah, we can't just have somebody waiting on the phone or reading emails. If you have your own take on anything we covered in this week's episode, feel free to leave a comment on the YouTube section. We read the comments, as you know, Heartslayers 2077.
Yeah, Weed Slayers.
Weed Slayers. Those were 2 comments recently. But we love all the little Heartslayers out there and their takes on our situations. And a big shout out to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/mega64. For just $1 a month, you get early access to every episode of Heartslayers, which gives you the competitive edge on all your relationship drama.
Oh, yeah.
You can follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Heartslayers. You can follow me, Derrick Acosta, personally on Twitter at Gustafo and on Instagram at Derrick Acosta only.
And I'm at Furnace Woods on both.
She's got the branding down. I need to take a branding lesson from Meg. And that is all she wrote for this week's episode. Did I forget to plug anything?
We are on audio streaming services. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify.
That's right. Wherever you get your podcasts,
Yes.
Heartslayers is taking over the podcast world. You know what? Subscribe to us. Let's get this podcast a little bit more popular.
Yeah.
We would appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
With all your help. You know what? Share, if you like this show, share it with your friends. Recommend it. Tweet it out. Say you're listening to Heartslayers. We'll be back in just 1 week to talk to you some more. So until then, take care of yourselves. We are the Heartslayers, Derrick and Meg.
See you later.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.